This is the EVP Podcast.
What is up, everybody? It's another episode of the EVP Podcast. I am Beaker.
I am Ghosty.
And y'all know what? It's officially Halloween time.
It show is. Everyone knows October 1st is the first day of Halloween.
Of course, by the time you hear this, it'll be like October 7th.
Right, but since then, it's been, it'll be a week deep into Halloween.
Today's October 7th.
Week deep into Halloween.
Yes. We've had a week of Halloweeniness.
I can't wait for more Halloweeniness. You got any fun, spooky plans lined up? We got a couple.
We got some. So I'm going on a super secret investigation. I went on a super secret investigation.
Yeah, you will have been on a super secret investigation.
I will have been on a super secret investigation.
Yeah, I want to hear more about that.
Secret. It was great. You should have been there.
Oh man, I wish you could have. It wasn't so secret.
I wish you could have been there, but it was top secret.
But we'll be doing a couple of other spooky things. We got a couple investigations lined up towards the end of the month, so that I'm looking forward to.
One place we've been to a lot. One place we've never been before.
Yeah, it's actually in a state I have never investigated in, so I'm excited for that.
You've never investigated? I have.
You have in Wyoming?
Once. One time.
Nice.
The Nevada State Penitentiary in Rolland, Wyoming.
Is it really called that?
Yeah.
That's funny.
What, the city or the...
Well, that's called Nevada State.
Oh, no. Nevada State. No. I want to go to Nevada State Penitentiary.
Yeah. I was like, that's...
It's the Wyoming. I don't know. It's a... blah. See?
Yeah.
It's my week to host and I'm messing up.
Yeah, that's how it works.
That's the rules. It's not the Nevada State. I really want to go there, though. It's the Rollins Penitentiary in Rollins, Wyoming.
Okay.
That's a more appropriate name for it.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. That place was trippy. You should go.
Okay. Did they do public ones there? Is that how you got in, or was
we did a private investigation? We paid for.
You rented the place out?
Yeah.
Nice.
I know Ghost Adventures did an episode there.
Rollins
Penitentiary.
Totally be down for that. But yeah, we're going to go into a place in Evanston. So
we stopped there on the way to the Stanley Hotel.
That's right. That makes a lot of sense.
9 years ago, and I haven't been back since. Yeah, Evanston, right?
Yeah, Evanston. We're going to be there, and then we'll also be at Benson Grist Mill, and then
hopefully in the next month or so, we're going to be doing an investigation in Elko.
That's right. Yeah, we'll try to do the commercial hotel in Elko, so that's going to come up here soon. And then I don't know, anything random in between, I'm totally down for.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, we're down.
Yeah, always. So crop circles, that's a thing.
So yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
I like crop circles.
So I just want to give a shout out at the very beginning of the show instead of saving it to the end. We went and recorded with another podcast, the La Cantina podcast.
Oh yeah, La Cantina. That was pretty fun. I had a good time at that recording.
It was fun, and there's this studio. This guy has like this whole recording studio, right? Mm-hmm. And he rents it out. So if you're looking to do a podcast, I'll get you in touch with these people. I can send you their information, but I think they do like a pay by the hour. He's got video that he sets up. He's got 3 cameras in there. He sits outside of the room and he does like, you can see on the screen because they have a TV in there, but he'll do like live editing for you. Yeah.
He does it all behind the scenes. He got it all set up. Very professional.
Yeah. It's actually a really cool studio. So, be on the lookout for that. We'll post links for it when that episode releases for them.
But in the meantime,
go
check
them out. They're both really cool guys. It was fun.
And they do a lot of paranormal, cryptid stuff, UFO stuff. So they do a lot of all things just like what we do.
Well, they're not just paranormal stuff. Like they have.
They have other topics.
They touch on like everything. Really cool guys. Can't wait for that to release. But yeah, go check them out. La Cantina podcast.
So, what are we talking about today?
Oh, I don't know. I feel like we should go to China today.
Let's go to China.
I haven't been to China before, have we? We've been to Japan once or twice. We have been to
Japan. I can't remember right off the top of my head. I don't think we have.
I wish we really have been to these places.
Right.
But for now, we're just going to pretend we're going to the Forbidden City in China. In Beijing, actually.
Beijing.
Mm-hmm.
They got good sauce there.
What?
Beijing sauce.
Beijing beef? They have good beef.
They have good beef, that's true.
That
they're known for their beef.
That bear of quickness tells me they have good beef from Beijing. So the Forbidden City is this really cool imperial palace complex in the center of Imperial City.
Who would have thunk?
In the Beijing, like we said.
Exactly.
Where they have the beef. Now, it is one of the most popular tourist attractions in the world, and it is arguably the most famous palace in all of Chinese history.
It's actually the most visited place in the world, the most visited museum, because it's considered a museum as well.
Yeah.
So it's the most visited museum in the world.
Now.
Because I think if anybody goes to Beijing, they're going to go here.
Pretty much.
I know I would make a stop there.
I would too.
And then I heard how big it is too. With how big it is, they say.
Well, let's get into let's talk some more about the history. We'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah, I'm just going.
It is huge. It's huge.
It is
you
huge.
Don't pronounce the
huge. H. It's huge.
It's huge.
Huge.
Now, it is also the largest preserved royal palace complex still standing in the world.
Uh-huh.
Now, the Forbidden City was constructed from about 1406 to 1420, and was the imperial palace and winter residence of the Emperor of China from the Ming Dynasty, since the Yongle Emperor, to the end of the Qing Dynasty between 1420 and 1924.
So relatively just 100 years ago, this was still in use.
Yes. Now, the Forbidden City served as the home of Chinese emperors and their households, and was the ceremonial and political center of the Chinese government for over 500 years. Since 1925, the Forbidden City has been under the charge of the Palace Museum, whose extensive collection of artwork and artifacts was built upon imperial collections of the Ming and Qing dynasties. The Forbidden City was declared a World Heritage Site in 1987.
World Heritage.
So
it means it's open for the world to see.
For everybody.
It's for everybody.
Everybody. Yeah. Okay, so the complex claims to consist of 9,999 rooms in total.
Damn, if they just added one more.
I know. They were one off. They're like, we can't have it's a nice round number because all the nines are round on top.
I guess I bet 10, you that 000. Flows. Actually, maybe they did that for a reason.
99 red balloons.
Yeah, I bet you it flows with the feng shui of things.
Okay, but experts have actually shown in recent years that the number only amounts to about 8,886.
Maybe it started with that many, and then since then, maybe they
quite possibly. I mean, it's been around for 500 years.
Exactly, longer than that.
Some freaky stuff has been going down.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they
could have done renovations or tore some buildings down. This place is about 178 acres large.
Yep. So that's what I was saying. It's huge.
Now the palace exemplifies the opulence of the residence of the Chinese emperor and traditional Chinese palatial architecture, and has influenced cultural and architectural developments in East Asia and elsewhere. It is listed in UNESCO as the largest collection of preserved ancient wooden structures in the world. Now, since 2012, when the world ended,
yep,
the Forbidden City has seen an average of 14 million visitors annually and received more than 19 million visitors in 2019. In 2018, the Forbidden City's market value was estimated at a total of about $70 billion US.
Damn. And that's just in the artifacts or with the land? Yeah, shit. That's still a lot of money.
Yeah, the market value. So that I'm thinking that's going to be the whole thing. The whole city. If you wanted to buy it, Elon.
$70 billion.
$70 billion. Now, it makes it both the world's most valuable palace and the most valuable piece of real estate anywhere in the world. Now, it was listed as the first batch of national key cultural relics in 1961. The palace is extremely important to Chinese public and nation, who often view it as a cultural and heavenly link to their ancestors.
Well, yeah, because I'm sure a lot of the, I could see that.
Oh, no. That's not touchscreen.
So the palace gained its name from the enormous scale and severely restricted access to all but the emperor and the imperial family and the eunuchs. And so right now, how it stands, and they say with the 178 acres, we only have access to 60% of that.
Yeah.
And it still takes over a day to go through everything.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And so still 40% of that is off limits. So what are you hiding? What are you hiding, China?
Yeah.
What do you got in there?
Well, it is forbidden.
It is forbidden. The name, let's see, what else we got here? Oh yeah, the eunuchs. The punishment for unauthorized entry to the palace was immediate execution. So anybody that wasn't part of the family or the eunuchs, they were caught there on the grounds, dead on sight. The common English name Forbidden City is a translation of the Chinese name, oh my God, can I even see that? Zijin Cheng, which means Purple Forbidden City. So it was called the Purple Forbidden City. Sede. That's a Sede, which first formally appeared in 1576. So that was when it actually got its name, was in 1576. And another English name of similar origin is Forbidden Palace, though city is much closer to the original Chinese meaning.
Now, the name Zijin Cheng has significance on many levels. Zai, or purple, refers to the North Star, which is in ancient China was called the Zaiwei Star, and in traditional Chinese astrology was the heavenly abode of the Jade Emperor. Mm-hmm. The surrounding celestial region, the Zaiwei enclosure, was the realm of the Jade Emperor and his family. The Forbidden City, as the residence of the terrestrial emperor, was its earthly counterpart. Jin refers to prohibition or taboo. Cheng, originally meaning a castle, fortress, or fortification, but in modern Chinese, the character means city. Mm-hmm. That's how it got its name. Now, today, the site is most commonly known in Chinese as Gugang, which means the former palace. The museum, which is based in these buildings, is known as the Palace Museum. In the Ming and Qing Dynasties, the Forbidden City was also known as Denai, or Palace City.
Hmm. So the Forbidden City was the imperial palace for 492 years. The Ming Dynasty lasted from 1420 to 1644, and in April of 1644, it was captured by the rebel forces led by Li Zicheng. He proclaimed himself emperor of the Shun Dynasty. Li Zicheng couldn't enjoy his power for long. He was forced to flee before he combined armies
before the combined armies.
Oh, before the combined armies.
These armies came after him.
Oh no, so they were coming out. So yeah, that's why he fled. Of the former Ming general Wu Sengyu and Manchu forces entered the gates. He did set fire to parts of the Forbidden City in the process. So it was like setting this whole city on fire.
That's probably why there's only 9,999.
That's probably how he survived it too, because they were like, "Oh shit, we gotta put this fire out if we want to keep this city."
I'm gonna set this one building on fire.
After this, the young emperor Shunzi was proclaimed ruler of China under the Qing Dynasty.
Now, the Palace Museum was established in 1925, right after the last emperor had left the palace. The National Palace was the place where all the national treasures were kept. A lot of these treasures had to be evacuated to Taiwan when Japan invaded China in 1931. A large part of these artifacts were returned to the museum after World War II, but a small but important collection stayed behind in Taiwan, where it can now be seen in the National Museum of Taipei.
Oh, nice. The first emperor to live in the Forbidden City was the much-feared emperor Yongle. Is it Yongle?
Yongle?
I think it's Yongle.
Yongle?
Maybe.
This guy was...
So he was called the evil emperor because he was crazy? Okay.
He was crazy.
He led a scandalous life full of pleasure and lust. Betrayal and disobedience were common. Anyone that went against the emperor's rule was executed. Concubines, servants, and guards would often poison others to get closer to the emperor.
So this dude had a lot of the
concubines,
a lot of sex parties.
Was he the one that was killing a lot of concubines too?
Oh, he did. Let's read a little bit more. So when Beijing was visited by several high foreign dignitaries, he had to get rid of his enormous harem, right?
His harem or his harem?
Harem. His Harlem city. The Globetrotters.
He had a little city of Harlem he had to get rid of.
He was getting rid of those Globetrotters. His harem, actually. So on this one like crazy, horrific night in 1421, the emperor ordered his soldiers to kill nearly 3,000 people connected to his harem.
Just connected to them?
Yep.
What?
Anyone that knew about it, basically. He's like, done. We got to get rid of him.
No way.
He didn't want to look bad.
Those were all under his ruling too.
Yeah,
like it's holy shit.
He's got the dignitaries coming in. He didn't want to look bad.
Damn.
So he was trying to get rid of any evidence of all this freaky deaky stuff that he was doing. Now, by exterminating any signs of it, Yongle hoped to keep his secret safe. That night, the polished floors were flooded with blood. Girls as young as 12 or 13 were brutally ripped apart.
What?
The eunuchs and servants who watched over his so-called concubines were also slaughtered. Some were decapitated and others hacked into pieces.
What the hell?
This is how much he wanted to keep his freaky deaky lifestyle away from the.
But instead of just like doing like a one kill move to less, as little blood as possible, keep it, it's got to be secret. He's cutting them to bits.
Yeah,
so
no,
it's like
just
blood
slaughtered,
everywhere.
just slaughtered
Holy
everybody.
Shit.
Now there were a few women who were the emperor's favorites that were spared. Right. Some of the favorite concubines became women of wealth who were given special benefits. One of these women was Lady Q. She was the daughter of a Korean government official and was brought to the Forbidden City at the age of 14. Lady Q was first brought to the palace in Nanjing to be taught the art of lovemaking.
She was taught the art of lovemaking.
At the age of 14.
That's so gross.
She kept a diary in which she described the bloody events, and her diary was later discovered. Now, a few years after that horrendous incident, a fire ravaged the Forbidden City, burning over 250 buildings to the ground and killing numerous people. Despite the palace being covered with lucky charms, that didn't prevent the destruction of the city. Emperor Yongle sank into a deep depression, thinking that it was his punishment for all of his actions, and he died in 1424.
Wow. Damn, that is pretty nuts.
So you're looking at least 3,000 people that were brutally murdered in this place.
But then
plus
it gets
all
worse.
the people that died in the fire.
But then after he dies, he makes it even worse. So his favorite concubine, she outlived the emperor because she was still really young, with him being old, I'm sure. But with him dying, that meant that on his death, he also wanted her to die, like all his favorite concubines. So on the day the emperor was buried, she and 15 other favorite women were executed. That was the dying wish of Emperor Yongle. They were taken to a hall in the Forbidden City and hung from a noose made of white silk. She was only 30 years old at the time.
Yeah, this dude was crazy.
Yeah, so like even after he died, the ones that were spared still ended up dying anyways. Everyone gets to die connected. Yeah, this guy sucks.
If I'm dead, you're dead too.
He sucks.
Now, his son, Emperor Hongxi, he planned to move the court back to Nanjing. He never got to act out his plan because he suddenly died less than a year later. This caused many people to believe the Forbidden City was cursed.
Or they just were sick of that family shit.
Maybe.
I bet you that was planned by the people. Maybe.
Very possible. So, and you and I have worked with a couple guys from China.
Uh-huh.
And one of them I talked to quite a bit about his culture because every culture is different, and I like to know
what they think on things.
What he thinks on things. And then this next part is stuff that he's actually like told me about. Well, what they actually do when it comes to like their deceased ones. They don't murder everybody, but they take death and religion very seriously. They respect ghosts and spirits in their culture.
Right. And this place you'd think is going to be riddled with ghosts now, because for, centuries, this has just been a place of, wars would go down, executions would go down, takeovers would go down, and a lot of assassinations would go down, and concubines getting killed for things,
yep.
Dignitaries not dignitaries, but, people close to the rulers, if they did anything suspicious, they got killed for it.
Yep.
So,
well, then, like we said earlier, there was people that wanted to get close to the emperor were like backstabbing and killing people just so they could be in the emperor's favor.
Exactly.
A lot of death, a lot of murder, a lot of tragedy going on in this city.
Oh, for sure. So that lets you know, and then alone, all right off the bat, 3,000 people connected in just that one slaughtering, and just in that one slaughtering alone. So
And then you got like the 15, 30 people that were executed after he died. You got all the people that died in the fire.
So that lets you know there's lots of ghosts. Lots of ghosts here.
Now, according to the Chinese tradition, you should avoid ghosts at all costs.
Yeah, they don't like the thought of ghosts there.
Now, superstition also lives wide and well in China. Even Confucius said, respect the ghosts and gods, but keep away from them. And this is something, as I talk to people from different parts of the world, it's a common thing. Most people have like a respect for the dead, or they don't talk about the dead. Like, this is one of the questions that was asked of us on the La Cantina podcast. Like, can just talking about it invite that energy in? And I still go with no.
Right.
It's not, but every culture believes differently. And, when we kind of respect what other cultures believe. So if we're asked to like not go do something, we don't go do it. Like, if we ever end up in the Forbidden City of China, we're not going to go running around with our ghost hunting gear trying to catch evidence.
Yeah, we'll do it incognito.
Right. We'll do it respectfully.
Respectfully. We're still
We'll
going to do
ask.
it.
We'll ask permission first.
We'll be like, hey, what are some good places where you guys can't see us?
So the most recent noticeable form of this tradition is the two gatekeepers who always stand on practically every Chinese doorstep. Now, these are two demons. These two demons are guardians, and their job is to keep evil spirits from entering through the door. And I've seen some pictures of these, and we'll post them on social media. But they're these like demon, like dragon-looking things that they put on either side of the door frame. It's actually really cool artwork.
I want one of those.
You should do it.
I really want one of those. I know about the food dogs. I like the food dog statues.
If you put those on your doorstep, though, you might not be able to get into your own home.
I go through the garage, though.
Also, all the doorways in the Forbidden City have these high thresholds you must carefully step over. There was one of the articles that I was reading, the guy went on a tour of the Forbidden City, and someone in his group asked why they were that way. Like, why do they have these high steps in the doorways? And the tour guide said to his group of tourists,
The ghosts be tripping.
exactly. It's apparently that ghosts, they're there because the ghosts can't jump and they'll be trapped inside the room.
Little do they know.
So if you put like a 3 foot or a 3-inch, 6-inch whatever thing in your doorstep or in the doorway that you have to step over, apparently if someone died in that room or outside of the room, they can't jump, so they can't get in the room.
I think that...
Despite the fact that ghosts can walk through walls.
Yeah.
So I think that tour guide was just kind of messing with them.
Either
But I don't know. That could be a reason why they
that
actually
could
have
be
them
something they believe in, but not real. Like, I mean, there could be like a ghost that was trapped in the, that was trapped that maybe somebody was able to communicate with, and the ghost was just like trapped in that room for whatever reason. I don't know why. They might be attached to something. I don't know, but maybe that they just kind of got that idea that every ghost can be stuck in the room with you.
Maybe. Now, ghosts have a remarkable status in Chinese culture, depending on their classification. There are 9 or 10 different types of ghosts in Chinese folklore. We'll get into that in another episode, because I think that would be a good episode.
They have 9 or 10 different types of ghosts?
Yes.
That is cool. So that I think we should do an episode on.
We'll have to do another episode because I did not include them in the notes.
Next week's episode, folks.
So I'd also like to do some, because Japanese culture has several different types of...
I think we should do an episode on all the kinds.
Types of ghosts from around the world.
Yeah, next week.
Boys and girls. So here's some of the known ghosts that people have reported at the Forbidden City. I'm going to let you start this one off.
Okay. So some of the visitors, they feel sad and have the sense of great loss when they visit the Forbidden City. I don't know if that's really related to paranormal. Visitors have reported seeing the ghost of a white lady with black hair who's trying to outrun a soldier who is chasing her. Screaming, crying, and the sounds of clashing swords have been heard. There are also claims of piles of phantom bodies on the polished floors. People have seen orbs and pools of blood. Pieces of white silk have been seen floating through the air.
Well, it's like when we talk about the prisons, like people say when they go into a prison, sometimes they feel that like anger or... Because the spirit's like, say you got all these women or people that were slaughtered
Right.
You know,
No, some people
they can
can
be
pick up
sad.
on
So
some
some
of that.
people can pick up on like the emotions of the spirits. They call them empaths. So that to me that makes sense when it comes
Right,
to paranormal.
right.
We've talked about in a lot of episodes where people like this is the emotions that people feel when they go into this place.
Right. I mean,
A lot
some
of
of that.
times, like you're feeling like the emotions of the spirits.
Sometimes I'm sure that I think it has to do with some of them already knowing the history, and so knowing the history and how sad it was, and then going there and then being around, seeing all that can be a little overwhelming.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So
That could be both.
Right, right. But I think it's more the people that have never been there, not knowing anything, and go there and feel that suddenly. That's more empathic. But knowing predetermined what you're walking into could kind of influence your thoughts.
Yeah, that's true. So they got ghost dogs.
Ghost dogs.
Ghost dogs.
Ghost dogs.
Have been seen running up and down the halls, charging and pouncing at some people.
Okay, that would be kind of scary shit. If you've seen something charging you like a dog animal and you go like it's about to jump on you and you're
and then
like,
it just vanishes.
And then it just vanishes. Yeah, that would freak me the fuck out for sure.
Yeah. I'm gonna run and jump at you and see if I vanish.
I hope you do, because I take out my knees for sure.
People have also heard hushed voices and crying from the concubine quarters.
Oh, that I believe it would be very paranormal. Like I guarantee there's a lot of whispering that would go on in that area.
Now that people have also seen headless or gruesomely wounded apparitions dressed in garbs spanning various centuries, spanning various centuries, from all over.
So like
different dynasties and whatnot. There's also phantom animal sounds scurrying around. There is flute music from the palace walls and disembodied footsteps in empty rooms. There's also doors that open and close on their own.
Ooh. A woman in white, sobbing, wandering the grounds. Some who have seen her say she vanishes before their eyes, while others say she shrieked and chased them. Ah.
I want to experience all of this.
I would love to.
Now, one of the clearest stories that we have supposedly happened in 1995, so this is fairly recent-ish. There was a guard at the Forbidden City who was watching TV in the guard's room when two colleagues burst into the room looking scared. So just imagine, like, you're a night guardsman, door flies open, two of your buddies are just, like, freaked out of their mind. Like, what's going through your head? Like, oh my gosh, are we going to die? What's going on?
Is there another dynasty trying to start?
I only have a flashlight. We're not allowed guns. I have no idea. The two claimed to have seen a woman dressed in all black walking away from them. The guards chased her, yelling at her to stop. They finally cornered her at a locked door and ordered her to turn around. And when she did so, she didn't have a face. That'd be creepy as hell.
Yeah.
Actually seeing that, some turned around, it's just like, there's no face. The men dropped their flashlights and ran back to the guard room. The three guards took guns. Oh, they do have guns.
Oh, yeah, nice.
And they returned to the location, only to find that the flashlights were on the floor and still on. The woman was nowhere to be found.
Damn.
Yep.
Did they have, 1995, I wonder if they had a CCTV back then. That would have been dope if it was on camera.
I didn't find any videos or anything.
No, but that would have been. But yeah, scary as shit. I heard there was another thing that I seen something like that too, where women they would go like seeing like there was somebody trespassing, and then they go to where they see them and nobody's there. So I guarantee there's so many ghosts there.
For all the stuff that's gone on there, like I'm surprised that the list of like reported sightings is so small.
Well, they want to avoid. But also, ghost encounters. Not a lot. So they're there like in the daytime. They're only there in the daytime. You're there with a lot of people. Well, you're there with a lot of people.
Ghosts don't care what time of day it is.
True that, but
a lot of people make sense. Well, there's also like we said, they kind of respect the dead. It's like, don't talk about them.
Yeah, but that's kind of also not very respectful if they're there trying to communicate with you and you're just ignoring them. But if it's your culture and you died in that culture, knowing that culture, you can understand where they're coming from. And they're probably just like, fine, they don't want to talk to me, and they know I'm dead.
Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah, man, that would be a place I'd like to go investigate, but also they won't let you investigate.
No, probably not.
There has been no TV shows that have gone there to investigate. I haven't seen any. Did you?
No.
Yeah. So they obviously don't allow it there. but doesn't mean you can't try.
Yeah, don't try. Don't try to be sneaky.
Well, is that all we got for the Forbidden City this week?
I think so. I mean, it looks like a beautiful city. I'd love to just go visit for the architecture alone.
Yeah, well, that and all the artifacts.
Yeah, the museum itself.
There'd be a lot of cool stuff.
I'm wondering how much stuff is like there that maybe is attached to some of the stuff in the museum.
Oh, I guarantee a bunch. I guarantee there's a lot of items there that somebody was, proud of and fond of, and that was like, that their piece, and it just gets passed down generations. But after they die, some of their energy's still attached to their favorite piece.
So you just do what I do and just put on the audio recorder on your wristwatch and just walk around.
That's what I would do.
Mm-hmm. Secret investigating, that's the trick.
Yep, just do a little. Oh, I brought this cool new phone. It's an EMF device.
Right.
All right. Well, I think we're good for this week. You know what to do, folks.
Yeah, check out the social medias, evp.pod at Instagram and Facebook. And, one of these days, maybe we'll get the TikTok rolling. I don't know. It's been there for 2 years. We don't do anything with it. Also, if you have been to the Forbidden City and have a story that you'd like to share with us, hit us up, evp.pod@gmail.com. And then after you've done all that, check out our affiliate link to ghoststop.com. Go buy some ghost hunting gear and do the ghost hunting. Do it.
All right, y'all. Ghosts don't play that.
Peace out, butterflies.
This is the EVP Podcast.